is very unreasonable to keep a man in detention for almost 7 years. What are you judging? This is telling on the judicial process of Nigeria.
Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in. Before we dive in, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss future videos. Today we've got something big happening. Actor turned political figure Kenneth Okonkwo has demanded the release of Nnamdi Kanu and is calling for a political solution to what's been described as a long-drawn judicial ordeal. Let's break down the story and dig into what it means for Nigeria. Here's what we know so far. Kenneth Okonkwo, speaking publicly, criticized the federal government for the prolonged detention and ongoing trial of Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the group Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB. He argued that to keep someone in detention for nearly 7 years without a conclusive judgment is justice delayed is justice denied. Kanu was rearrested in June 2021 following his extradition from Kenya, and since then he has been held by the Department of State Services, DSS, while the trial continues. Okonkwo's point is, if the government can't quickly bring resolution, guilty or not, it must at least consider alternative approaches, like political negotiation or release, because a democracy cannot sustain indefinite pre-trial detention without undermining faith in the system. Now, why is this matter hitting headlines again? Because, alongside Okonkwo's demand, is growing civil unrest in parts of Nigeria. For example, large demonstrations have taken place in Abuja, where protesters calling for Kanu's release clashed with police who used tear gas and water cannons. There's tension, there's risk of escalation, and public trust in the judicial and political systems is being tested. Let's talk through some of the key issues at stake here. Legal, justice system, concern. Okonkwo emphasizes that Nigeria's constitution guarantees that an accused person has the right to be tried in a reasonable time and to the presumption of innocence until proven guilty. Holding someone for many years without final resolution undermines that principle. So his demand is rooted in a rule of law argument. Either the case must proceed conclusively, or the accused must be released or dealt with through a political settlement. 2. Political dimension. This case isn't just legal, it's deeply political. Kanu leads a movement advocating for the secession of the southeast region of Nigeria. So when Okonkwo says political solution, he's recognizing that the government's handling of the case bears consequences beyond the courtroom. It touches on national unity, regional grievances, ethnic trust, and political stability. 3. Social stability and public sentiment. The fact that protests are breaking out suggests the situation has public security and social trust implications. When people feel the justice system is failing, or that decisions are being delayed for political reasons, trust erodes. Okonkwo is tapping into that. If people believe the system is unfair or biased, it can fuel unrest. 4. What happens next? Okonkwo's call creates pressure on the government. Will they prosecute swiftly, negotiate a settlement, or release Kanu? Each choice has trade-offs. If they release him without resolution, critics may say, look, you got away with it. If they push trial aggressively, regional tensions may worsen. If they negotiate politically, there may be demands for concessions, impact on national policy. Now, for context, here are a few additional thoughts I'd like to share, and please, while we're chatting, don't forget to like and subscribe so our community stays strong. Think about how this case reflects the broader issue of how minority regions or those with secessionist sentiments feel treated. Whether you agree with Kanu's movement or not, the perception of unequal treatment or delayed justice can inflame emotions. Also, consider the message this sends internationally. Nigeria is often under scrutiny for human rights, rule of law, fairness of its judiciary. Long outstanding trials and high-profile detentions impact reputation and investment. From a political strategist's viewpoint, Okonkwo's move is smart. He's aligning himself with a cause that touches many people, especially in the southeast, and presenting himself as a voice of fairness and equity. That may boost his profile. For everyday Nigerians, The takeaway could be this: whatever side you're on, whether you believe the state should be tougher or you believe more negotiation is needed, the end result matters. Trust in institutions. If people believe institutions will deliver justice, you have stronger stability. If not, you have risk. I want to leave you with some questions. Drop your thoughts in the comment section, because I'd like to know what you think. Do you agree with Kenneth Okonkwo's position that Kanu should be released or a political solution found? Why or why not? Do you believe that long waits in court without resolution damage the legitimacy of our justice system? What kind of political solution do you think is realistic? In this case, direct negotiation, regional autonomy, discharge of charges, something else? How important do you think it is for the government to act quickly in high-profile cases like this? And what are the risks if they rush? All right, we've covered the gist. Kenneth Okonkwo demanding the release of Nnamdi Kanu, pointing to delays in trial, calling for political resolution. In a context where protests are happening, trust is under strain, and the country faces choices. If you found this video helpful, go ahead and like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss more stories just like this. I'll be following up as more developments unfold, so stay tuned. If you'd like me to break down how this could affect the Southeast region or the implications for Nigeria as a whole, say the word and I'll dig deeper. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.